after the evening of the incident, or the early morning hours of the incident, you were asked to do some additional investigation, is that correct?
Yes.
And in fact, was it Sergeant Lamerson that asked you to do some additional investigation?
Yes.
Is Sergeant Lamerson in charge of this investigation?
Yes.
Now, you interviewed a number of people, isn't that true?
Correct.
And in fact, you interviewed Mr. Holbrook's ex-wife, Star Mangold, isn't that true?
Yes.
And without saying what was actually discussed, you did learn a few important things from that interview, didn't you? About Mr. Holbrook.
Yes.
Isn't it true that from the evidence that you obtained from that interview, you found out that Mr. Holbrook was controlling? Isn't that true?
That's what I was told.
Object as far as that being hearsay, Your Honor?
Your Honor, it's not hearsay. It's not a statement. This is simply evidence that was collected. I'm not asking the deputy what exactly was said. It was what was taken from the interview, what evidence was taken. And certainly in this case, we're putting forth to see if he found any evidence that Mr. Holbrook was in fact controlling. So it's not hearsay. If I were to ask the deputy, what did Ms. Mangold say about Mr. Holbrook, then it would be hearsay. So he could testify about his impressions and about what the evidence means.
Well, I think it's all based on hearsay. There's no foundation that he knows about that independently or observed that.
Well, he's based on the interviews. I mean, that's part of the investigation.
Okay, the objection's overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now, Deputy, I'm going to ask you that same question again. From your interview, you obtained evidence that Melvin Paul Holbrook was controlling, didn't you?
I was told that he was.
And from that interview, you obtained evidence that Mr. Holbrook was manipulative, didn't you?
That's what I was told.
And from that interview, you obtained evidence that he was an adulterer.
That's what I was told.
From that interview, you obtained evidence that Mr. Holbrook had strange sexual interests, right?
Correct.
Specifically, that his sexual interests included bondage, right?
I don't recall any mention of bondage.
Second here, sir. Now, if I may approach the witness, I'm going to show you a document that may bring back some of your recollection of this, okay? I would like you to read the paragraph, the last paragraph of page 2 of your supplemental report, please. And let me know, just look at me when you're done.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to ask you the same question again, Deputy. Did you obtain evidence that Melvin Paul Holbrook, his sexual interest included bondage?
Yes.
Did you find evidence from that interview that Mr. Holbrook's sexual interests included transvestite type things?
Yes. So I was told.
And from that interview, did you find
Please don't
evidence?
object again, Your Honor. It's all based on an interview with somebody who's not here, who's offered for the truth of the matter, asserted it's hearsay under 801. Also object as far as relevance.
Well, Your Honor, as far as relevance goes, certainly the fact that the decedent appears to have suffered from some type of paraphilia, which is a mental disorder involving sexual fetishes. And not only that, but a major theory of our case is that Mr. Holbrook suffered from some type of mental symptoms that at this point in time appear to be something along the lines of antisocial personality disorder. We are allowed to argue our theory and enhance our theory, and this goes directly to it. That's absolutely relevant. And on top of that, again, it's not hearsay. It's evidence that was taken. The deputy is not testifying about specifically what was said to him. It's what he learned from the interview, and he can testify to his impression. So I would make that argument in response to the people's argument.
All right.